Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
In the midst of a pandemic, the only time we can envision going back to normal or to what would be a new normal is when we have a vaccine for COVID-19. Vaccines typically take 10 to 15 years to be tested and manufactured, but given the nature of the public health emergency that we are in right now, this process has been greatly expedited by many players across the globe. So it's likely that we might have a functional vaccine within the next 2 years and maybe even within 1 year if we are very lucky. In this video, we're going to take a deeper look at just vaccines in general and their different kinds. So what are vaccines and what do they do? Vaccines are a biological substance, a preparation which, when fed into our bodies, kickstart our body's immune response to produce antibodies. It does so by carrying a weaker form of a bacteria or a virus or any other disease-causing pathogen, which doesn't hurt our body, it doesn't cause the disease, but the pathogen is recognizable enough as a foreign invader to our immune systems so that the body starts fighting it. And our immune system remembers this pathogen or the type of pathogen that was in the vaccination that it fought off, and later when a vaccinated person is exposed to this pathogen or a similar pathogen, the body recognizes it immediately, the immune system remembers it and can quickly fight it off without the person contracting the disease. Vaccines can be both prophylactic, which is when they are used to prevent a disease, like what we typically think vaccines do. They can also be used therapeutically, which is when they are used to treat a disease that has already infected the body, such as cancer. Such a vaccine would boost the immune response, helping the body fight off cancer cells. This is called immunotherapy, which is when our own natural immunity is used to fight cancer. Vaccines in general protect the population and have been used to control epidemics as well as to eradicate diseases. We've eradicated 2 so far. In humans, we've eradicated only smallpox, and in animals, we've eradicated rinderpest, which used to affect cattle. We can't eradicate COVID yet. We don't even have a vaccine, and even among diseases where we have been vaccinating for decades, we haven't managed to eradicate any apart from smallpox. But we will hopefully get a vaccine within the next couple of years, as new vaccines are being tested right now, and we would start living with the disease before we can figure out how to eradicate it at a later stage. Vaccines come in various different types. There are many categories of vaccines, although all of these categories are broadly classified into 2: live attenuated vaccine and killed or inactivated vaccines. As the name suggests, live attenuated vaccine carries a live pathogen, but one that's greatly attenuated, which means it's diluted and weakened to such an extent that it does not cause the disease or illness. Some examples include the vaccines for, say, the measles virus and the BCG vaccine, which fights against the tuberculosis bacteria, and even smallpox itself was eradicated using a live attenuated vaccine. Originally, as we discussed in a previous video, Edward Jenner inoculated people against smallpox by using cowpox material, which is a related disease but is not as deadly as smallpox in humans. The other category of vaccine is killed or inactive vaccines. As the name suggests, these use either killed pathogens or they may use a part of a pathogen to induce the same antibody response. These pathogens are typically killed or inactivated through exposure to high heat or chemicals. The vaccines are not as effective as live ones, and typically these are the vaccines that tend to require booster shots. Among these inactivated vaccines, there are further subtypes. First, there's the whole killed vaccine, which uses an entire killed pathogen, such as the injected polio vaccine. Polio also has drops, the rabies vaccine, and even the influenza vaccines. Another subcategory of killed vaccines is a subunit vaccine. They are also called acellular because they don't contain a full cell but instead contain parts of a pathogen, such as sugars or proteins that are found on the surface of a bacteria or virus. There are vaccines that are being developed right now to combat COVID-19, which uses the spike protein on the structure of the SARS-CoV-2 virus and injects that into our bodies. The spike protein is what the virus uses to bind to our cells, so it's called an antigen, or what performs the attack on our bodies. And antibodies are created in response to this antigen. An example is the hepatitis B vaccine, which only contains the surface proteins of the hepatitis B virus. The HPV vaccine is also another example. Another kind of inactivated or killed vaccine is a toxoid vaccine. Toxoids are toxins that have been chemically modified by humans. And in toxoid vaccines, we use modified toxins produced by the same bacteria that produces toxins which cause a disease. An example is the tetanus vaccine or the TT shot. It's called TT because it stands for tetanus toxoid shot. Tetanus causes muscle spasms starting from the jaw and spreading to the rest of the body. It is caused by a toxin that is produced by a bacteria which enters our body through exposed cuts and wounds on our skin, and toxoids cause our immune system to fight the toxin. There are also recombinant vaccines where genetic material from two different organisms, microorganisms, are mixed to produce an altered organism essentially that produces genes that it normally wouldn't. For example, viral RNA can be inserted into the genome of yeast, and the yeast would then produce viral proteins which can be used to make a vaccine. So they're used in the manufacturing process. Apart from all of these, we also have newer experimental vaccines that use new technologies. There are DNA or RNA vaccines where the genetic material of the pathogen is introduced to our bodies in the form of its DNA or RNA, whichever applies. A number of RNA vaccines are currently being developed for COVID because SARS-CoV-2 is an RNA virus, it doesn't have DNA. There are also viral vector vaccines where one virus carries the genetic material of another directly into our bodies. For example, the Oxford vaccine uses live attenuated adenovirus, which causes common colds in chimpanzees. But there is a twist here. The adenovirus is missing some of its own genetic material, so it cannot replicate in our bodies. It cannot cause a disease, but it is carrying in it the spike protein gene from the SARS-CoV-2 virus, against which antibodies will be produced, and the adenovirus, as soon as it enters our body, will then release the gene into our bodies to instigate the production of antibodies. There are also various other kinds of vaccines, other kinds of inactivated vaccines as well, such as T-cell receptor vaccines, dendritic vaccines, conjugate vaccines, and so on. But the ones that we just discussed, were the ones we needed to know about to understand the kinds of vaccines that are being developed for COVID right now. This is Sandhya Ramesh from Bengaluru for The Print.